Hi there, it's March 14th and time for Proverbs 14 once again. Let's jump over there. Got the wrong screen on. And we will get into it. Verse 1. Wisdom builds her house, but the folly of her own hands tears it down. Now they kind of cut that off here in the Revised Standard Version. The wisdom of a woman, or a wise woman, builds her house. Okay. A wise woman builds her house, but the foolish tears it down with her own hands. Right. And that happens, Some people tear their own house down. Always worried about everything that you shouldn't worry about. Right? Verse 2. He who walks in uprightness fears the Lord, but one who is devious in his ways despises him. You ever talk to people that are they don't like God? You mention Jesus and they're like, ew, and say nasty things. Well, they're sorry someday, but yeah. Number 3. The talk of a fool is a rod for his back, but the lips of the wise will preserve them. What's this little note here? Rod of pride. Yeah. You be foolish, somebody's going to punch you. For where there are no oxen, there is no grain, but an abundant crop comes by the strength of an ox. Okay, now I know that's different from reading these enough. Manger over here. Yeah, see, the manger is clean. Okay? Where there are no oxen, the manger is clean, but much revenue comes by the strength of the ox. Okay? So that's kind of, you have to read 2 verses just to get the whole verse sometimes. You ever seen these, like an auto shop, you go in there and it's clean, it's beautiful, everything is spotless, and the jacks are clean and freshly painted, but there's no cars there. That guy's got a beautiful shop, a $1 million shop and all this stuff, but he's not making any money because there is no cars there. And you go to a shop that's dirty and there's cars everywhere and tools laying around, that guy's making money. Basically. Where there are no cars, there is no profit. In an auto shop or on a farm, if there's no oxen or you have no tractors, or your barn's clean and polished and fine, you're not making any money. Okay? Remember that. That's cool. Number 5, a faithful witness does not lie, but a false witness breathes out lies. Right. We all know people like that. A scoffer seeks wisdom in vain, but knowledge is easy for a man of understanding. Right. Scoffers. People that scoff. 7. Leave the presence of a fool, for there you do not meet words of knowledge. Right? You bunch of idiots, don't hang around them. Just see ya. It's just that easy. See ya. Number 8. The wisdom of a prudent man is to discern his way, but the folly of fools is deceiving. The foolishness of fools is deceiving. That's what I said. The foolishness of fools is deceit. Yeah. The wisdom of the prudent is to discern or understand his way. We'll highlight that. Kind of like that. God scorns the wicked. See, now here it says God scorns the wicked. Hebrew is obscure. And over here, in the New American Standard, it says fools mock at sin. Or guilt. God scorns the wicked. Fools mock at sin. Why is it different? That's weird. But the upright enjoy his favor. That's interesting. See why you have 2 versions? I mean, everybody should invest in a parallel Bible if you're going to use a printed version. I have one. It's very thick and heavy, but it has 4 versions and it's side by side, and you can look at all 4 versions as you're reading, and it's kind of cool. Very good investment. This computer program, you can bring up anything you want. So. But sometimes I still have to compare it to the written word, because sometimes the written word will be different than the computer. Where was I at? 10, right? The heart knows its own bitterness, and no stranger shares its joy. Yeah, heart knows. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. Right? Notice it says house and go away and tent. Right? There is a way which seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. Right? Think you know what you're doing, but you don't. Okay? "13. Even in laughter the heart is sad, and the end of joy is grief." Even in laughter the heart may be in pain, and at the end of joy may be grief. Right. That's a really deep verse right there. Some people laugh, but they're only laughing on the outside, crying on the inside. That's an old saying. Putting on a front. 14. A perverse man will be filled with the fruit of his ways, and a good man with the fruit of his deeds. Right? So a perverse man, a pervert, will be filled with the fruit of his ways, the things he, just the way he is. And a good man will be filled with the fruit of his deeds. What's that say over here? One with a wayward heart will have his fill of his own ways, but a good person will be satisfied with his. From himself. Yeah. It's like what you say and what you do. 15. The simple believes everything, but the prudent looks where he's going. Right? Some people believe anything you tell them. These are always the ones that are writing stuff on the internet too, right? They believe anything you tell them. Well, I found it on the internet, so it's got to be true. No. Okay, no. 16. A wise man is cautious and turns away from evil, but a fool throws off restraint and is careless. That's what am I saying? Stay out of the big cities right now. Just stay out of them. Stay out of the big cities. Nothing but trouble there. Okay? If you're cautious and turns away from evil, because they're evil. But fool, they don't care. They just go blinding in there, and if they're not one of the evil pieces, they're going to get beat up and they're going to set your car on fire. There's people that make a game out of just killing people now. 17. A man of quick temper acts foolishly, but a man of discretion is patient. Now I'm going to highlight that just because a quick-tempered person acts foolishly, and a person of evil devices is hated. You see, that says something different. Why does it say something different? What's this note right here? Hebrew is hated. A man of discretion is patient or hated. But why did they get patient from if the Hebrew says hated? Quick-tempered person acts foolishly, and a person of evil devices is hated. Now we know the New American Standard is an exact word for word, so on some of it, okay, it's not all. I have noticed some gender changes in here, trying to be inclusive, try to include everybody. Like 16 up here, a wise person, and this probably says man, fears. A wise person is cautious and turns away from evil. Over here it says a wise man. So, You just can't get away from the gender nonsense, unless you use the old printed Bibles, And I have a feeling at some point we're going to rely on the printed Bibles, because if the devil gets his way, all this stuff online is going to go away. And we'll have to meet in secret again. So we're on 17. A man of quick temper acts foolishly, but a man of discretion is patient. And a person of evil devices is hated. You'd almost have to look at 5 or 6 different versions. I believe the New American Standard, because it's a word for word. It's taken right from the Hebrew. So. Okay, 18. The simple acquire folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. This part over here, the naive inherit foolishness, but the sensible are crowned with knowledge. Simple, naive, foolish. Calling somebody simple is kind of a nice way of calling them something else, right? 19. The evil bow down before the good, the wicked at the gates of the righteous. At some point, right? Yeah. The evil will bow down before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. At some point, when everything hits the fan, when it all comes down, right? The poor is disliked even by his neighbor, but the rich has many friends. You notice that? Are they real friends? Okay. You know who your real friends are if you had a lot of money and suddenly you have none, and see who sticks around and who's suddenly very busy. But it's true, that should be in quotes. The rich has many friends. Okay, what's that say over here? The poor is hated even by his neighbor, but those who love the rich are many. 21. He who despises his neighbor is a sinner, but happy is he who is kind to the poor. Okay. Now your neighbor could be anybody. Okay. Here it's kind of interesting. One who is gracious to the poor is blessed. One who despises his neighbor sins. Right? The Bible says love one another. Okay? Love your enemies. It says that. You're not supposed to despise anybody. And some of these people, especially some of these people in government, it's pretty hard to love them now, but you're supposed to pray for them. Need to pray for them. 22. Do they not err that devise evil? Those who devise good meet loyalty and faithfulness. Err. Will they who devise evil not go astray? But the kindness of the truth will be to those who devise good. Err. That's a weird word, huh? So devise good. Right? Don't devise evil. I don't know why somebody would do that. Of course, some people do, huh? 23. In all toil there is profit. Toil is work, okay? In all work there is profit. But mere talk ends only in want. That's a good one. That's a really good one. In all labor there is profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty, right? You should never look down on anybody that has any kind of a job, no matter what they're doing. If they're working, they're doing their part. Okay? No job. That means the garbage man, the greeter at Walmart. Okay? Anybody who is working deserves respect. Okay? There's no such thing as a lowly job. Okay, every job needs to be done. Okay, you sit around and talk and do nothing leads to poverty or want. Okay, that's important. 24. The crown of the wise is their wisdom, or riches is the actual. The crown of the wise is their riches. But the folly is the garland of fool, but foolishness of fools is simply foolishness. It says wisdom. It says, wisdom, riches. So the actual translated Hebrew is riches. The crown of the wise is their riches. Okay? The crown of the wise is their riches. And it says over here, if you gain wisdom and fear the Lord first, gain wisdom, knowledge, discernment, all the stuff in here. It says all over here that you will be rewarded with riches. It says that. Okay? That will be your crown. Okay? 25. A truthful witness saves lives, but one who utters lies is a betrayer. Pretty basic, huh? 26. In the fear of the Lord, one has strong confidence, and his children will have a refuge. I highlighted that over here, and I don't know why. But it's true. Kids can always come to you. If you're wise and you raise them in wisdom, they'll always come back to you. My kids talk to me all the time, even though they're in their 40s now, And they always have a refuge. So, 27, the fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, that one may avoid the snares of death. Right, that's a good one. Fear of the Lord is a fountain of life. Fear is better translated as reverence now, to revere something. 28, in a multitude of people is the glory of a king, but without people a prince is ruined. Right? If nobody follows you, are you a king? 29. He who is slow to anger has a great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts folly. Yeah. Exalts foolishness. Okay. I'll admit I have a temper, not against people. It's a introverted, passive-aggressive kind of thing, but something I'm always working on. So I don't exalt foolishness. 30, a tranquil mind gives life to the flesh, but passion makes the bones rot. That's not worded right, is it? A tranquil heart is life to the body, but jealousy is rotten to the bones. Is rottenness to the bones, right? Passion and jealousy are different things, okay? Depends on what the other person is doing or not doing. Jealousy is if you think somebody is betraying you, you get mad on the inside and it'll rot you out, And once you think it's happening, even if they prove that it's not, it's still there. So, and I never was a jealous person. I mean, that's just, I said, if you want somebody else, go. Just leave me alone, okay? Okay, where was I at? Oh, passion, jealousy. I'm going to say jealousy and passion. I'm going to highlight those two because it's different. Okay. 31. He who oppresses the poor man insults his maker. You got this? Make that yellow. He who oppresses a poor man insults his maker, or insults God. Okay? But he who is kind to the needy honors him. Now here, you notice it says a small h right here? And over here, the actual word for word. He who oppresses the poor taunts his maker, or God. One who is gracious to the needy honors him, capital H. You honor God, okay? If you're kind to the needy, you honor God. And Jesus said, what you do to the least of these, you have done to me. And if you give to the poor, God will pay you back with interest every time. It never fails. Okay. 32. The wicked is overthrown, though evil through his evil doing, but the righteous finds refuge through his integrity. And his death. Wicked is thrust down by his own wrongdoing, but the righteousness has a refuge when he dies, through his integrity. Boy, these people are... These are two vastly different things, huh? Okay. Word for word says when he dies, and this says through his integrity, and they put a note there, or through his death, right? That's been sugar-coated a bit, isn't it? Interesting. 33. Wisdom abides in the mind of a man of understanding, but it is not known in the hearts of fools. Right. Pretty simple. 34. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. Wow. What do you think of that? It's the same thing on both sides. You really can't sugarcoat that, huh? Look at some of these nations. Man alive. And 35. A servant who deals wisely has the king's favor, but his wrath falls on one who acts shamefully. Right. We don't have servants now, but there's enough people, doing just that stuff. So that's 14. I highlighted some stuff in here. We can go over the highlights real quick. We highlighted 4. Where there's no oxen, there is no grain, but abundant crops come by the strength of an ox. And I like it better over here. Where there is no oxen, the manger or the barn is clean, but much revenue comes by the strength of the ox. All right? And we talked about an auto shop with no cars in it. It's clean, it's shiny, it's beautiful, but he has no business. Okay? You need the dirt, you need the grease, you need the broken cars so you can fix them. Or if you're a farm, your barn is clean and beautiful, but you don't have any crops, so you're not going to make any money because your barn is clean. Yeah. I highlighted 8 for some reason. The wisdom of a prudent man is to discern his way. Okay? If you think about your way first, don't just go blindly doing something. Okay, and 11 we highlighted, the house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. Right? 13, even in laughter the heart is sad, and the end of joy is grief. Yeah, right. Some people are just sad and they pretend to laugh. And when it's over, it's back to being sad again. I highlighted 16. A wise man is cautious and turns away from evil, but a fool throws off restraint and is careless. Okay? Stay out of trouble. Turn away from evil. Walk the other way. Stay out of the big cities. We highlighted 17. A man of a quick temper acts foolishly, but a man of discretion is patient. All right. Of course, it says over here, a person of evil devices is hated. Well, I don't know how they compare those two and get the same thing. 21. He who despises his neighbor is a sinner, but happy is he who is kind to the poor. Okay. And that one, 21, goes right along with 31. He who oppresses a poor man insults his maker or God, but he who is kind to the needy honors God. Okay? He who despises his neighbor is a sinner, and happy is he who is kind to the poor. Right. And 23, in all labor there is profit, but mere talk ends only in want or poverty. Right? In all labor there is profit. Never look down on somebody because they're working, no matter what their job is. Okay? And 24, the crown of the wise is their wisdom, but the folly is the garland of fools. Foolishness is the garland of fools. Highlighted 29. He who is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts foolishness. Right. Personal stuff you can work on. Right? Okay, at 30, we just straighten this out. A tranquil mind gives light for the rest, but passion makes the bones rot. It's not passion, okay? You have passion for the Lord, okay? Jealousy is rottenness to the bones. That's the correct word, jealousy. Yes. I mean, I wrote this, it just had no passion, right? That's crazy. You should have passion for everything that's important. And we highlighted 31. He who oppresses a poor man insults his maker. We talked about this. But he who is kind to the needy honors him. God honors God. Okay. And we just highlighted difference here, 32. The wicked is over them through his evil doing, but the righteous finds refuge through his integrity. And the actual word for word is the righteous has a refuge when he dies. Okay. We highlighted 34. Righteousness exalts a nation, but a sin is a reproach to any people. Yeah. You just have to look at Washington, D.C. and see what your representatives are doing. They're not representing, that's for sure. They're after their own interests and that of lobbyists and corporations. And if you don't think that's true, just ask yourself why we pay them $170,000 a year, which is a very good wage, with all the other perks. But their net worth increases by an average of $1.5 million per year. $1.5 million. Okay? That's 10 times what we pay them. So where are their interests going to lie? In the 10 times or in the one time? Okay? That is why politics is crooked. In some countries, you can get hung for accepting, here we call it lobbyism, it's lobbyism and stuff. In other countries, they call it what it is, bribery and extortion. Okay? And the ones that aren't being bribed and paid lots of money, they're being blackmailed. Okay? Because they did something bad in their past and somebody found out about it and they don't want anybody else to find out about it, so they make them do stuff. To stay out of trouble. So, but I have it. We could go on that forever, so we'll stop talking about that. So there's Proverbs 14 in our never-ending quest for knowledge through Proverbs. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm just going to keep doing it, okay, until I can know it and spout these off verbatim. So then we'll see where wisdom takes us, right? So there you have it. Give us a like if you think about it. Catch up on anything you might have missed. Stay tuned later today. We're still in Deuteronomy and are through the Bible in 1 year. I'll be doing it. But until next time, remember, stay humble. Stay out of trouble. See ya.